Hi students, this is Professor Harsha Jadhav and I am going to deal with the subject Urban Transportation Planning with the subject code 17CV 751. So about the last class we discussed on trip generation concept. We discussed on what do you mean by trip generation, what do you mean by home based trips, what do you mean by non home based trips, and what is the meaning of trip production and what is the meaning of trip attraction. These all concepts we discussed in the last class. So as far as the trip generation is concerned, trip generation means start production or the start of the trips. How the trips are generated, on what basis trips are generated, that concepts we are studying under trip generation concept. So under the urban transportation planning process there are four steps: trip generation, trip distribution, model split, and traffic assignment. So first we are focusing on the trip generation. So in this trip generation we are having two more concepts, that is one is trip production and second one is trip attraction. So under the trip production, how the trips are produced, that concept is known as trip production, and many of the criterias are depending on the trip production concept. See, when the trips are needed to be produced, trip production mainly depends upon the household size, okay, and employment rate. And trip attraction mainly depends upon whether the area is industrial area, whether the area is educational area, or whether the area is commercial area. Based upon this land use pattern, trip attraction process is going to takes place. So after that we focused on home based trips and non home based trips. Home based trips are those trips whose origin or destination will be home or residence. But non home based trips are such trips whose origin or neither the destination will be the home. For best example for home based trips is trips generated from home or a resident to the college, or a trips generated from resident to the office, trips generated from resident to the any park or cinema theaters. These are the best example for home based trips. For as per the non home based trip is concerned, non home based trips are such a trips whose destination will not be a resident or the origin will not be the residence. Here what happens, it is a in between trip. As everybody know, the trip means it is one end movement from origin to destination. See here in the non home based trips, see the trips may be office to the market and market to the office, like that. Neither the origin is home here nor the destination. Okay, such examples are best for non home based trip patterns. So this all we discussed in the last class, and in today's class we'll focus on the MLR, that is under the module number 3 and lecture number 16 we'll focus on multilinear regression equation. So what do you mean by this MLR, multilinear regression equation? See, this correlation and regression concept we are using to relate the two variables or two concepts. In order to relate the two variables or the two concepts, we are going to use correlation or regression concept. So this comes under the statistics. Okay, so what we are doing here in correlation, we are fitting the independent and dependent variables. For example, in our concept, let us focus briefly. Okay, so the majority of the trip generation studies performed have used multiple regression analysis to develop the prediction equation for the trips generated by the various types of the land use. I am going to tell this concept with the best example. See, let us consider a study area. This area, whatever with the blue boundaries I have presented on the screen, this is a study area. See, in this study area, let us focus on 2020. This is a present year 2020. So what is happening here inside the study area? Many of the trips are generated or attracted. So trips are carrying over here. So these trips will be either home based trips or non home based trips. Each and every trip will be having its own route or the path to reach the destination. Getting what I am telling? Each and every trip in this study area will be having their own path or the route to reach the destination, and there will be a different travel time for using with the different routes. Even if you are going with the different routes, the travel time to reach the destination from the origin, even it will be different. So this is as for 2020 is concerned. So what happens? Let us focus. What we will do, we'll assume what will happen in the year 2050 or 60 after 40 years. So 2060. So our aim for this study area to do the urban transportation planning. See, what is our motto? To go with the urban transportation planning process for this study area. Okay, for this study area. See, for this study area under 2020, n number of trips are occurring. So now my aim, my target is 2060. I want to know how many trips are going to occur during the year 2060. See, this is a pure prediction. So whatever the trips we are going to get for 2060, it is purely a prediction. But if although we are going to predict it, the prediction should be, or the prediction should have some standard accuracy. Okay, some standard accuracy. So in order to have the accurate number of trips in the year 2060, first what we need to do, we need to study the land use pattern of this particular study area. We need to study the land use pattern of this particular study area. What do you mean by land use pattern? Land use pattern means where the marketplace is there, that is CBD, where the residential area is there, where the educational area is there, or where all the film theaters are there. These all land use pattern should be studied in detail. Okay, so these everything should be studied in details, and road networks are studied. Even the road connectivity or the road networks are studied in a well and good manner. So after that, what we will do, after this concept, we will study about the trips probability. Trips probability means how the trips are generated, how the trips are distributed, how the trips are produced, how the trips are attracted. These all concepts we are going to study only in this study area with the best method called home interview method or home interaction survey. Okay, so this study area, what we are going to do in order to get the very good data or a very accurate data, or in order to analyze the data with the high accuracy, what we will do, we will divide this study area into sub areas. We will divide this study area into sub areas with the denomination 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like that. Okay, like that we will do. So what we have done, we have subdivided the study area into zones. This concept we have studied under module number 3. If we are dividing the study area into subdivisions, that subdivisions are known as zones. Why we are dividing the study, why we are converting the study area into zones? Just to get the accurate data. So what we will do, after division of this or subdivision of this particular area, we will assign few number of peoples for these respective areas. For this respective areas, we will fix up some surveyors, so that the target will be given for such surveyors, and we will collect the accurate data. These 4 surveyors should focus on this ward number 1 accurately, accurately without any errors. They should get the data. If ever they feel the data is unwanted, then they can omit the data, but the target should be reached based upon the population. Let us consider this study area is having about 1 lakh population, and our target data collection is 10,000, that is 10% data we are collecting. Out of this 10,000 data, we may skip about 2 to 3% data. Out of 10,000 data, we may skip 2 to 5% data, no problem, but rest 95% data should be accurate. So in that fashion we need to collect the data. For that we need to go for sampling methodology. What do you mean by sampling? So we are going to define the method of surveying priorly before the start of work. That is called as sampling. Like, what method should be implemented for this particular ward number 1, how the data should be collected, whether we are going for home interview method or whether we are going for roadside interview method. See, each and every area has its own feature, has its own land use pattern. Based upon that, different methodologies are, or sampling methodologies are implemented to collect the data. So based upon that, we are going to collect the data. So data, whatever we are collecting here, this will be in terms of trips. That is trip details we are collecting. We are collecting household details and we are collecting trip details. Okay, so household data means their economy level, their income level, household size, how many male are there, how many female are there, how many kids are there, how many vehicles are there. These all things we are going to study in household information. When it is with the trip information, only we are going to focus on what time you have left the house, what the route you have followed, what the travel time is taken to reach from origin to destination, through which vehicle you have went, whether you went with your personal vehicle or the public transport. Okay, what is your origin, what is your destination. Okay, is there any intermediate change in the travel, whether it is a home based trip, even any non-home based trips are occurred there or not. These all things we are going to study in trip details. So this is very, very important, because this is a direct method of survey. This is the direct method of survey, whereas here some indirect survey methodologies are followed by, based upon the employment details. They can go to their respective office and they can, to showing their ID cards or showing the some authority details, they can collect their income levels. But here directly you are collecting all the information. But before collecting the information, you need to take those peoples into confidence. After taking in confidence only, you can get the very good or the better or accurate data. But for us, the accurate data is very, very important. See, after collecting the sample, we'll enter in the Excel sheet or in any software. So what we will do now in multilinear regression equation, I'll come for the actual concept, that is multilinear regression equation. Now those data are taken into account and model we are going to create. How this model is created? See here, this model, in this model we are having dependent variable and independent variable. In this model, see, this is a mathematical equation which is known as trip generation model. This is known as a independent equation, sorry, a mathematical equation known as trip generation model. See, in this equation we are having two major variables. One is dependent variable, other one is independent variable. This y is known as dependent variable. This x is known as independent variable, and these values are constant values which are obtained with the help of regression analysis. Which are obtained with the help of regression analysis, and this constant value are depending upon the respective variables, on the respective independent variables. Okay, this is a multilinear regression equation. Still, the very best example for multilinear regression equation is y is equals to a plus bx plus cz. This is the ideal example for multilinear regression equation. See, this is a dependent variable, x and z are independent variable, a, b, c are the constants with respect to that particular independent variable. And this mathematical equation, whatever shown here, this is known as model, trip generation model, because this model is created or created for trip generation process. So only this model is for trip, this model is known as trip generation model. Okay, now I am going to explain what actually y stands for, what actually x stands for, and what even actually the z stands for. See, this trips, see here, y is nothing but trips. It may be trip production or trip attraction, because this trip production and trip attraction comes under trip generation only. Okay, so this, the trips, number of trips produced or attracted mainly depends upon, as per the theoretical theoretical condition or the theory of trip generation, there are many factors which depends upon trip generation and trip production and trip attraction. So we will consider this as yp, that is trips produced. So yp is independent variable which is known as number of trips produced for the year 2020, because this is very important. For the present year, if we are doing the trip generation process, then it is for yp 2020, that is trip production for year 2020. Then what do you mean by x and z? X and z are independent variables which are the basic factors of trip productions. So that study area factors it is. So during the survey, you have came across household size, you have came across income level, you have came across number of employment, you have came across number of recreational trips, you have came across number of educational trips. So these, whatever the parameters are there, these independent parameters are known as x and z. In this our case, let us consider x as household size, x as household size, z as income level, x as household size, z as income level. So this b is a constant which mainly depends upon household size, c is a constant which mainly depends upon income level, and a is a constant which is independent, which we got with the help of regression analysis. After the regression analysis, we got this equation. So how we are going to get this equation, that we will study with the help of one analytical problem in the upcoming classes or the next classes. But I am telling you what do you mean by model and the variables of that particular model. The model may be for trip production or model may be for trip attraction. Okay, so this is a trip production model. So these all parameters we are studying for 2020. Okay, so I have told you that particular study area we need to develop a model for 2060. We need to calculate number of trips for 2060. If we need to calculate the number of trips for 2060, obviously this will change. Whatever the present values are there for x, that is household size, and z as income level, that values will change, or it will 100% it will rise for 2060. So in order to raise these values, we need to consider a standard increment rate or the growth factor rate. See, these growth factor rates we are going to get with the repeated analysis. The standard growth factor rate we need to calculate. So year by year, the growth factor rate will going to differ. So as per IRC, vehicle growth factor per annum per year, it is always 7.5%. 7.5% per year for any type of vehicle it is. It is the total growth factor for any type of vehicle. Okay. So in this fashion, different growth factor rate will be there for different independent variables. Using that growth factor rates, what we'll do, sitting at the present year 2020, if we can put the growth factor rate and the future values, now sitting at 2020 only, we can calculate the trips of 2060. So easily we can get 2060 trips, the trips produced during 2060. See, this value should be accurate. So only I am repeating again and again, in order to get the accurate values, the data collecting, what we are collecting, that should be accurate. In order to collect the accurate data, what sample method or what sampling techniques we are following, that should be accurate. Okay, this is the first concept. Next, we need to consider whether whatever we have done, whether the equation we have formulated now, whether it fits or not, how to calculate that. So in order to calculate that fitting of the regression analysis, the R value should lie between -1 to +1. Regression coefficient is denoted by R, and this R value should lie between -1 to +1. If your value, analysis value, if it is lying at a -1, then it is perfectly correlated. If your regression value is lying at 1 +1 or 0.9 or 0.85, then also your regression analysis is perfectly correlated. But if your value lies somewhere 0, -0.1 or 0 +0.1, like that, somewhere near to 0 if it is lying, then whatever the process you have done, that is not perfectly correlated, it is having maximum errors. Means in future we can't predict the trips considering this equation. Means this equation won't give a better results in the upcoming days, or the prediction will not be good for the future years with this R values. If the R value is -0.85 to -1, and if it is from 0.85 to 1, then it is perfectly correlated. If the R value is somewhere near to 0, then it is poorly correlated. So this is the check for regression analysis. This is called as dependent and independent variables fitting curve. Okay, if both the dependent independent variable curve is going to fit, then only that equation is accepted. If not, again we need to consider other independent variables. Instead of household, we may go for employment rate. Instead of income level, we may go for population. Such independent variables, by changing the independent variable, because dependent variable will be fixed. What is our motto? In order to calculate the trip production, or we need to calculate the trip production or trip attraction. But what we need to change? We need to change the independent variables. So this process is done until we get the best fit curve. Okay, so this is about multilinear regression equation, friends. Hope everybody understood the concept. So under the today's concept, which lies under course outcome 3 with the Bloom's level of taxonomy 2, 3. So I have told you what is the meaning of 2, 3, 4. Applied the concept, analyzing we are going to do because it is an equation, and evaluating. We are evaluating up to the certain amount. Okay, friends, in the next class we will focus on the